All right, we are here at Radio RAMPA Studios. This is Chili Pete of Chili Underground. We are here in studio with Adam Babyface Kownacki. He is currently an 18-0 boxer, originally from Poland, spent most of his life here in Brooklyn, so he is a Brooklyn boy. We are happy to have you here in the studio. We are less than 2 weeks away from a co-main event at the Barclays Center, which is kind of your home at this point. You're going to be facing Gerald Washington, co-headlining a card that's going to be also featuring Keith Thurman and Josesito Lopez. So, Adam, great to have you here. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Can you take us through this last camp? How's everything going? We're less than 2 weeks away. How are you feeling going into this fight?
I feel great. The weights were supposed to be. I had great sparring partners from Mike Coffey to Nicozy Solomon to drill Big Baby Miller. So
it's been an action-packed camp?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? As far as the training is, just as your career has kind of spanned, you're now 18-0, you've been a pro fighter going on 10 years. How has your training preparation and your camp preparation changed over the span of your career as you've gone from newcomer in the sport to an established fixture in the boxing world who is now trying to make his break into that real next top echelon boxing realm?
I could more focus on basically just in training. Before starting off, I had to work, so I had construction work, bounce at clubs to make a living.
Right.
So I had to focus my boxing around the work.
Right.
Where now it's only focused 100% on boxing, which is great.
As far as the preparation for, getting in more fixture, more cardio, more calisthenics, getting your diet right and everything, are things more calibrated and fine-tuned as you've kind of walked this long journey in the sport of boxing?
Yeah, of course. I've been doing this for close to 15 years, so
right.
I got to know my body a lot better, know what works, what doesn't work, what to eat, what not to eat, how much to run, when to back off, when not to back off.
This is a question from a casual boxing fan, and I've always wondered this because so many times fighters are cutting weight, typically in very unhealthy ways. You're in the heavyweight division, so above 200 pounds, your weight doesn't really matter per se because you don't have to meet a certain target. It's more a personal goal that you set for yourself. Talk to me about diet. What have you found as far as ketogenics, as far as avoiding certain food groups, eating a lot of certain food groups? Do you have a formula for what puts you in the best shape mentally and stamina-wise to get you through a long camp into a big fight?
Yeah, so
staying away from pierogies.
Yeah, of course, good Polish stuff.
Staying away from good Polish stuff, right?
Yeah, but it was Christmas a while back, so I let myself go a little bit. But
we all did.
Not too much. But yeah, I mean, stick to the basics. I mean, you need everything. Like, you need your proteins, you need your carbs, and you need your fats.
Right.
So I stick to my steaks, my fish. For carbs, I use pasta, rice, potatoes, your vegetables,
right,
your avocados, basic stuff,
Got it. But you're not specifically religious to one fad diet or the other.
I don't. It's fad, like you said. I mean, you gotta stay eat what's right and what's been proven throughout years was better or not.
Got it. So as far as the camp sparring partners, is everything kind of baseline normal? Are you putting in extra time for this fight as we're getting closer to the date, or like have you tapered off your preparation? Where are you right now, less than 2 weeks in?
Yeah, so it's last week is going to be, I have 2 more sparring sessions left. So it's last hard week, and next week we taper off. So that's when it's fight time. It's go time. So
a lot of work is still happening. You're still in preparation mode.
Yeah, I just finished my strength and conditioning session at Iron Lion in Astoria, Queens. So
and you train at an MMA gym, right?
Right. Yeah. It's called Belmore Kickboxing Academy in Belmore, New York, in Long Island.
Is that unorthodox for a boxer to be at an MMA gym, or is it just basically where you feel at home? Like what goes into a boxer picking a gym?
I think my trainer, Keith Trimble, I mean, even though he started off kickboxing, he was a kickboxer himself.
Yeah.
He's a genius. Like, I love the way he teaches me boxing. He gets in my head. We connect on a different level. He knows what I'm thinking without me actually saying. He knows where my head is at, so that's a major key.
Got it. So you're going to be facing Gerald Washington. Many people are referring to him as kind of like a veteran gatekeeper, a person who nearly, he faced Deonte Wilder a couple of years ago, nearly had him beat until a big late shot late in the fight that turned the tide in that one. What do you see in Gerald Washington? Is there anything that scares you? Anything that you need to especially prepare for? What do you see in him as an opponent?
A big exam. I gotta beat him. He's a gatekeeper, but I can't look past him. I look at him as a step toward getting that title shot that he already got. So in order to get that shot, I need to beat him in impressive fashion.
So when you're, and this goes back to me being a casual fighter, when you're preparing for a fighter, talk to me about what you do to calibrate your routine. Are you watching all of his former fights? Are you talking to people who have fought him before? How do you mentally prepare for a fighter like Gerald Washington? What goes into your plan?
I leave that mostly to Keith Trimble, my trainer. He saw him fight a couple of times. He has the game plan. So whatever he says, I trust him, and that's what we try to do in sparring. So we have sparring partners about Gerald Washington's posture, which are tall guys, 6'5", around 240, 275.
It's hard to find guys this big.
Yeah, but I was lucky enough with Nicozy and Mike, so that's good. And then Gerald Miller actually fought him.
Yeah?
So
earlier in his career.
Right, yeah, so that's good too. I mean, Miller stopped him, I think, towards the end too.
Right.
But it's great, so I'm good friends, and he said, based on my last sparring session, that shouldn't be that tough a test.
Right, but you don't want to go into it mentally thinking that this guy has seen his best days, this guy's not going to be a competitor. You always have to go in kind of, bracing for a brawl, right? That's the mentality.
I was in camp once, and a trainer said, Roger Bloworth, he was like, if you don't take a opponent serious, he becomes a serious opponent.
Right.
So those kind of words I like to stick by, take everybody serious, because it's a fight. One punch can change everything. So you got to stay focused and
when people undercut you or make any type of disparaging comments against you, it might give you as a fighter that extra motivation to go out there and kind of work harder, which is going to be kind of it turns the table a little bit more. You don't want to give them that edge, right?
Yeah, for sure. My whole career, I was like the underdog coming up. And this fight, I'm a favorite.
You're sick of being the underdog. You're now the favorite. How's that feel? The dynamic is changing. Can you feel it?
Yeah, it's insane. Especially like you said, I was born in Poland, so that I was raised in Greenpoint. So
you're a Brooklyn boy.
Yeah, so that pressure of performing well is big, and I feel it. Everybody's like, it's not no more, that kid, maybe he'll be something. Now it's like, he is the next big thing. So I gotta perform now.
So here's the deal. You're 18-0. You want to be considered in those talks with, Anthony Joshua, with Deonte Wilder, with Gypsy King Fury. There are rumors that that Vladimir Klitschko could be coming out of retirement and might be getting into the ring at Wembley in April. A lot of these fighters, it looks like, are going to be tied up for the next year, 2019. I know we don't want to look down the road and forget that we have a fight on the 26th, Saturday night at Barclays Center. But where do you see the next year and a half playing out with the heavyweight division and kind of the pieces that are set right now for where you want to be navigating within that set?
Yes, like you said, it's a great time to be a boxing fan and to be a fighter.
Right.
So right now, like I said, I'm focused on Gerald Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key right now. I mean, you got to beat him. If I can't beat him, I can't even think about fighting these other guys.
Right.
So that's the main focus right now. But hopefully I get through him and I see what doors are open. Like you said, these guys, a lot of these guys are tied up. But hopefully I know if I beat him, my title shot is around the corner, a fight or two away. So it's a lot closer than the father. It's been a long journey.
Right.
And I got to finish it strong.
When it comes to, and this goes kind of like pulling back the curtain for me, when it comes to matchmaking and kind of looking for different opponents, can you just shed light on what role your immediate team has in helping decide who you're eyeing? Or do you guys leave that to PBC and Heyman and his team to do all the business of fight making? How's that work?
It's a combination of both. Like they give us an opponent, and we agree or disagree. And I've been agreeing to basically everybody that asked me to fight. So it's been good. I've been beating everybody. I mean, my major fight was against Artur Szpilka.
Yeah.
And I was a huge underdog. Nobody gave me a shot. I mean, like a lot of they wanted me to win,
right?
But they knew like it would probably be very hard,
right?
But I walked right through him in 4 rounds.
What was that? What was the atmosphere of the arena like that night? A Polish American fighter against a Polish fighter. What was the crowd like?
Oh, it was all pro me.
Yeah,
yeah. Everybody was chanting my name.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
You were still the homeboy.
Yeah, of course, it was great. Like you said, everybody was. I was the underdog, so everybody was rooting for me, but it was hard. Like they didn't think I could do it.
Right.
Like, but it happened. I mean, it was an easy fight for me. I did it in 4 rounds.
You saw an opening. You smelled blood, and you went in for the kill, man.
Yeah,
you turned into Predator. I was watching the highlights on YouTube earlier today, getting ready for this. You have this visage of just a nice guy, and you are a nice guy, but in the ring, you turn into an apex predator, and you just turn it up. It's pretty amazing to watch. So boxing is kind of in a weird place business-wise. HBO is saying goodbye to boxing, but we're seeing these big deals with your boxing promotions, PBC, Top Rank. So Fox and ESPN is now featuring big boxing fights available to the public, free of charge. Is this an opportunity for a boxer who's in your position? You're kind of in your prime right now. Your destiny is in your hands. The ability to be seen by so many millions of Americans on their TV stations just as they're flipping.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like a cool privilege right now?
Yeah, it's amazing. And like you said, it's in my destiny, right? If now I got to perform, I got the platform to show my skills and be on Fox.
Right.
Which is, everybody has Fox. I mean,
yeah.
You couldn't ask for anything better. Now all I do is perform, which I train very hard for and plan on doing on January 26th.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Quick question. All of your fights so far have been held on American soil. Are you looking eventually one day, and I know these are business decisions, sometimes not in the boxer's hands, but the ability to fight on Polish soil, is that something that eventually you do want to achieve in your career?
Yeah, of course.
A big fight in Warsaw or in Krakow?
So my goal personally is win a title and defend it in Poland.
Got it. So ideally defending it on Polish soil?
Yeah, of course.
Can you talk to me about Polish boxers, the kings and the legends out there? I know Galata actually lives in Chicago.
Right.
What's your relationship with the Polish fighters, the Polish fighting world? You're an American. You speak Polish. You're kind of fighting under two flags, which is kind of an interesting split identity. Right. What's your relationship with the great Polish fighters out there today?
Yeah, I'm friends with Thomas Adamek.
Okay.
He's been actually in my career for a while. I've been in many of his training camps, so I learned a lot from him. Like I said, I grew up watching Andrew Galata fight. Had a chance to meet him a couple of times. Also, great guy.
Would you ever fight Tomas?
No, I mean he's like my uncle.
Okay, so it's just like Serena and Venus. They play each other in tennis.
Yeah,
but that's a little different,
right?
As far as bringing the pain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he gave me so much advice coming up. So it'll be Got
it. It's out of the question.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't fight family like that. You can't pound family.
For sure.
That's what you do. You wouldn't go easy on any opponent,
you
right?
Can't.
And then as far as watching other Eastern European fighters, are you inclined to keep an eye on fighters out of Poland and fighters out of Ukraine, Russia specifically? Or are you interested primarily in only what you're planning for your next fights for yourself? How do you keep your kind of blinders open or closed? Yeah,
growing up, I was more of the casual boxing fan, where I was interested in everybody.
Right.
You know, growing up watching Manny Pacquiao,
Miguel Cotto,
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
But now, as I'm closer, maybe to that top, it's just focused. Just laser focused.
Are you focused mostly on heavyweight fighters right now? Is that really what your time is spent watching boxing?
If I do, yeah, just look at the results, who won, how they do, what round, here and there look, but mostly it's just focus on myself. I know if I'm in the best shape possible, there's nobody that can stop me.
Are you a big YouTube boxing historian, watching the greats like Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali fights and all the great fights out of the 50s and 60s and 70s?
Not
Or do you
really.
leave the history for the historians?
I mean, it's important, but like once in a while, like if I kind of have a writer's block,
Yeah.
maybe and see like, oh, how did this fighter fight, or how, and pick up little tips here and there.
Right. Got
That's
it.
why I watch it, like maybe to get like a little, pick up something that he did,
Got
and I
it.
could use it in my game.
Got it. I was doing some research before this interview. Did you spend any time with the Klitschko fighter, with Klitschko
Yes.
brothers?
Yeah, I was under camp twice.
What was that like?
Amazing. I mean, it was awesome. It was in the Alps in Austria.
No way.
Yeah.
How did you get invited to that? How did that happen?
So I just got back off my injury,
Right?
and I was in camp, in a training camp, and one of his assistant trainers was like, "Hey, Adam, we're fighting a guy that's your posture. Would you want to come down to camp with us?" And I said, "Yes, of course."
So you sparred with Vladimir Klitschko?
Yeah, it was great. I was young too, so I was maybe 24, 23.
Were
So
you
it
a
was
little starstruck?
a little bit? Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Because they're more than legends, right?
yeah, of course. But it was great. It was a great learning experience. Like you got to see how he operates at the highest level. So I got to pick up a little tip here and there.
What do you think about legends and when they should walk away? As you know, the Tyson Furry decision, losing to Anthony Joshua quite handedly.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a time in a boxer's career when he needs to kind of gracefully hang up the gloves and walk away?
We're free men. It's our decision. But I can't tell him what nobody to do. So if that's his choice, that's what he should do. I mean, that's in your
If
your
he
choice.
can't say goodbye, he deserves another shot in the ring
Yeah,
if
of
that's what he
course.
wants.
Yeah, he's a free man, right? I mean, I can't. Who am I to tell him you can't do this?
Right. And speaking of a question, one of my friends who's a big boxing, he's infatuated by boxing. His name's Rocky Fratto. He really enjoys watching your fights. They're very entertaining fights. Your style is not super defensive. You take shots.
Right.
Provodnikov was one of my favorite fighters. It seems like he's walked away and gone back to Siberia. But that also could mean a shorter career just because of your business and the brutal reality. As you're getting older, have you thought about becoming a little bit more defensive in your style in the ring? Or is the style you've been showing for the last 10 years what you're going to be sticking with?
Yeah, I mean, more head movement. I mean, we're working on that just to not get hit so much. But I fight the way I fight. I mean, it's been working for me for all these years. I mean, I'm a pressure fighter, come forward, and that's what I like doing. I mean, is it the best thing? No, but I do it because I love it. That's why I like to bring the pressure and give the fans excitement.
Got it.
But I'm working on angles, moving the head, and my last fight, I think my defense got a lot better compared to my other fights. So it's definitely a learning process.
Got it. And if you had any message, I'm sure you're asked this a lot. If you have any messages for fighters, who are not yet professional or children who are thinking about going into this line of work, what is your advice for the 12 or 13-year-old who's maybe thinking about going into this direction athletically? Just do you have any tips or advice for a young aspiring boxer?
Yeah, surround yourself with the right people. I always kept my family very close. So when you ever look a long way, they set you straight. So that's the thing. Surround yourself with a positive group of people is the most important thing.
Keep the snakes away?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes it's hard too because the snakes are ones that know how to sneak in there. But
yeah, the snakes know how to dig their holes, don't they?
Just stay focused. I mean, it's gonna be a long journey, but if that's something you want to do, just stay focused and keep writing it out. And look at me. I mean, growing up, nobody really looked at me seriously, and I'm a fight away from becoming a world champion.
But you've earned your attention and you've earned your consideration.
Yeah, so there are many journeys to get what you get, and just keep doing it. I mean, keep believing in yourself, and anything's possible.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to leave it there. The big fight is January 26th at the Barclays Center. Adam Babyface Kownacki against Gerald Washington, co-headlining with Keith Thurman against Josesito Lopez. It's going to be a great night of boxing at the Barclays Center. Thanks so much for joining us here on Radio RAMPA, and good luck to you on Saturday night. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.